Pro wrestling was a much bigger part of my life when I was a kid. As an adult, not so much. So, WWE 2K25 has been a real education for me. I spent a little time with the game earlier this month. Between that and the Royal Rumble, I'm well on my way to becoming a convert. If my short time with the game is any indication, 2K25 is shaping up to be an excellent entry in the series. The first thing I noticed was the gigantic list of features and modes. Now a lot of these are returning from previous games in the franchise, but there's a fair few number of new systems and mechanics. Intergender matches are now possible across several modes, which is cool. The Bloodline have a whole bunch of showcase matches. My GM now supports online multiplayer, which feels like a big win. Promos are back in sandbox mode, plus whatever the island is. I guess it's a pretty big deal, but we know literally nothing about it at this point. Still, it could be cool. Oh, and you can mess with the camera during the intros. What I discovered next is that I am real bad at these games, which is fine. I've just got more room to improve. Still, a lot of my hands-on gameplay involved various superstars feeding me my teeth in short order. Normal matches, brawls, underground matches, and even tag team matches almost all ended with me face first on the ground. Even in the face of such comical adversity, I'm excited to dig into the full game. How amazing will it feel once I start winning matches more often? Of the match types I tested out, Underground is probably my favorite. The screaming fans were just right there, and there's a certain brutality that the other types lack. I can't wait to crack open the various campaigns, however. I tried out a couple of the new showcase matches as well. There's a whole history lesson that comes with each one, and that totally rules. For someone like me, a total newbie, that history is essential. You get more context, more weight attached to every fight, and if you're familiar with the WWE, then this is a chance to change or revisit history at your leisure. The Royal Rumble match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins was a real highlight. I don't know specifics, but I do know that the full game will have a lot more than the 3 matches we were shown at the event. Since this is a yearly released franchise, I was curious about how the devs approach the challenge of keeping things fresh. Apparently maintaining a returning player base is pretty simple stuff. So many players have a running wish list of features they want added to the game, you see. Because of this, they're more likely to stick around to see these features brought in. The challenge comes with certain features taking multiple years to properly implement. You also run into problems when the actual WWE adds something incredibly cool late in a given title's development cycle. For me, the amount of included content is almost overwhelming. But I know that returning players see things very differently. Will the island, the intergender matches, and the expanded online multiplayer be enough to bring people back? Or will it be smaller changes that turn the tide for some players? Slingshot tech, which seamlessly combined live action footage and CGI cutscenes, was a staple of the franchise for years. However, fan feedback showed that enthusiasm was flagging. Players turned on the feature completely. Now, those same cutscenes are entirely CGI. Speaking of CGI, the visuals in 2K25 are excellent, at least what I've seen so far. The handful of superstars we were shown were incredibly detailed and faithful to their real-life counterparts. I'm hopeful that the whole roster looks this good, although it's easier to achieve this kind of thing in cutscenes and intros. Everyone's perfect frames don't hold up the same in real-time combat, but that's to be expected. Once I get access to the full release, I'll have a much better idea of where the stress points are in terms of animation and pixel count. We were also playing on custom machines, so performance is still a total mystery. I had a lot of fun during my short time playing WWE 2K25, but I still have a lot to learn, both about the game and pro wrestling in general. What are the rest of the match types and features going to be like? How will it perform on my consoles? What on earth is the island? I honestly can't wait for the full release. While I'm pretty psyched, I'm a brand new fan. How are returning players going to receive 2K25? So many questions and just over a month before they're answered. In the meantime, maybe I start watching more wrestling. I hear it's on Netflix now.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to make sure that top quality COGconnected content keeps on coming.